Welcome back to the Chronicles of Colvin. I'm getting caught up on some videos, and today we're going to be doing a review to The Penguin, the Max series. This was by far the best side project of a character that I have ever seen. Colin Farrell and Kristen Milioti knock this out of the park with their roles. This was very much The Sopranos, if you know what I mean. What you talking about, Vic? The Penguin. He's very much Tony Soprano. Everything with the crime families, everything, it was dark, it was gritty, it was perfectly written. Gotham, right after the events of Batman, the setting was perfect. Everything was tied together. Everything was great the action. The Penguin is probably the luckiest man I've ever seen in a movie. Like, he spun everything to his advantage to set up him as the top boss in Gotham. And he just takes advantage of every situation and lies his way out of everything to get there. And I think that's what makes him such a great villain. And then at the end, you saw how really ruthless and how he really didn't care about anyone but himself and his mom. But then at the end, we find out that his mom really never cared about him either, because she knew he'd killed his brothers when he was little, and she was actually going to have him killed. But she decided not to because she thought he could get her everything that she wanted. I give this show, I give it an 8 out of 10. The only reason I don't go higher than that is because I did have a few nitpicks. Those nitpicks were, this was supposed to be set 2 weeks after the Batman. The Penguin has 3 run-ins with the Batman in the Batman. And the Penguin's clearly afraid of the Batman. Throughout this whole series, no one mentions him. Now, he's been active for 2 years. In 2 years, he's been fighting crime. So someone should be scared of the Batman because he's clearly out there and they know about him. But there's no mention of him throughout this whole series. Even when Sophia blows up the tunnels and causes that huge explosion in Crown Point, there's still no mention of Batman. Nothing. And I get it's 2 weeks after, but he's still active. He's still there. He should have showed up. I know Matt Reeves, they said they didn't want to have a cameo or put him in it because it would take away from what the Penguin was. But I disagree. I think it would have made it even better than what it already was having him show up. Because at the end, when the series ended, I got giddy that last scene where he's dancing with his, I don't know what you would call her, lover, where she's made up like his mother. I think it just showed another deranged side of Oswald, or Oz, I guess, in this iteration. But when she says, "There's no one who can stand in your way now," and that camera zooms out and you see the bat signal just turn on. That was perfect, but I think it could have been a lot better if he would have cameoed and you would have actually seen him. Or if we would have seen the fear if he saw the bat signal in the sky, because as we all know, the bat signal, it's not just a call, it's a warning to them. And we didn't see that fear. And I think that would have just increased the show and made it even better than what it was. But with that, I can't remember his lover's name. Gia, maybe? I don't know. That's probably wrong. Put it down in the comments if you know. I don't know off the top of my head what her name was. But her last name is the same last name as Clayface. So I don't know if that was Matt Reeves, if he was going to try to, his thoughts were going to try to gender swap and do a female version, or if maybe she has a brother and that was him kind of setting up like they were going in this direction. I don't know what's going to happen with that now because Clayface is canon in the DCU and James Gunn is going to use that. Of course, all the Batman stuff is still up in the air, as far as what Batman we're going to have. You know, Matt Reeves put out the other day, it'll be Robert Pattinson if they can make it make sense. Andy Muschietti put out today that it's not Robert Pattinson, but then now there's rumors that he spoke out of turn and that they're going with a new director for The Brave and the Bold. This is purely speculation on my part. I think James Gunn and Matt Reeves have come to an understanding. I think it will be Robert Pattinson. I think they'll do Batman 2 after Superman, and I think that will segue into the DCU through that movie. And I think Matt Reeves will direct The Brave and the Bold. They may not even make the Batman 2. They may just scrap that and do The Brave and the Bold with Robert Pattinson. But I think Matt Reeves is going to write it and direct it, and I think James Gunn will use that to bring it in and let Matt Reeves have control over Batman and those characters as long as they work within the DCU. And I think they can make it work. It's just the writing. They have to nail it. But with Matt Reeves, I think they can do it. I think it can be done. But again, that's purely speculation on my part. Don't read into that. That's just what I think. Let me know in the comments what you think, if you think anything other than that. That's really the only other nitpick I had was the name change. I didn't get why it was really necessary to go to Oz Cobb. I think Oswald Cobblepot definitely has even a better, I don't want to say sound, but feel than Oz Cobb. Oz Cobb just kind of feels like a dumb name, whereas Oswald Cobblepot actually feels like it means something and fits this version of the Penguin better that Colin Farrell portrayed. And he did win a Golden Globe for it, and I mean, great. But Kristen Milotti definitely deserved one too, because they were both, I mean, they brought their A game, and they were some heavy hitters in this show. And this is what I wanted for the DCU, to see a world like this fleshed out and built out, like off of the Batman and how they built that out. And I want to see that world built. And I want to see that in the DCU too, but I think they can incorporate this world into the DCU very easily. Just like James Gunn has said, each project will have its own feel and its own theme. And I think, just like our world, we have cities like Gotham and that are corrupt and just run down and, scavenged. And then we have cities like Metropolis that are, big, sprawling, vibrant, cities. And I feel like you can make that work in this DCU, and that it will work and be cohesive. And as long as they write it good, it can all tie in. And I feel like Robert Pattinson, you have longevity there where he can, investigate Superman or set up a league or, train Robins, and we can get every Robin and that whole story told. And I hope they do that. I hope they don't just skip ahead and do The Brave and the Bold and do Damian and skip over all the other stuff that we could have, because they could do it and it could be incredible. You wouldn't even have to do movies. You could do shows like The Penguin and just do limited series and tell stories. The Killing Joke. I mean, The Death of Robin. I mean, Battle for the Cowl even. They could do all these stories. But 8 out of 10, that's my review for it. I really did enjoy this series. I just wish there would have been more mention of Batman, and at least more mention. And that's really the only nitpick I have. Everything else, I mean, Colin Farrell was great, and we're going to see more of him in the Batman 2 if it gets made, if they still go that direction. He's confirmed he has scenes in it, so we'll see. But this was a definitely good step. It would be a mistake, I believe, if they don't capitalize off of this and continue it, at least in its own universe, if not in the DCU. So write your comments down if you liked it. Maybe you didn't like it. Maybe it wasn't for you. Leave some comments. Let them know why. Get a discussion started, and let's spread this community. Leave a like, subscribe, share. Like I said, trying to get to 500 subscribers, so share it, and let's build this community and enjoy the ride. And hope you all have a great day, and we'll see you on the next video.